Now, so first let me show you the API, then you will be able to see what we are going to see now. So this is another Swagger online test.jirasim.in. These are very old APIs. So in this now, you can just search mock API. Okay. In mock API, you just need to scroll down and check the employee API. If you see the create API object, see, see the JSON, what type of object we need to send. We need to send it to this API. And can anyone tell me like what, how your UI will be for this object? Check the object and tell me what kind of UI we have to design for this.
This is, for example, someone is saying applying for a job or
Hmm.
something, then they can add different education levels.
No, no, no. See,
So,
where is education?
there will be form and form array for that repeated employee relative
Right?
information.
See, if you see the whole object, we have some parent properties, EMP ID, name up to designation. These are single properties. Okay. Inside this single property, we have a property that is mock EMP relatives. But this needs array of this object. Means consider you are you have joined a company and there you might have to fill your information. Obviously, your information is single, but your relatives information is going to be multiple. Correct? So this is a scenario where we have a single object, and with that single object, we need to send some multiple data. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So other scenarios, let's say we have product and product images are multiple. Clear? Like this. Let's say employee. Employees will work on multiple projects. Getting the scenario now? So just like that, we are going to take over here employee detail and its family members. Okay. So now what kind of UI we will be needing? So see, this is very basic form. These are very straightforward text box you will be creating. But this is multiple. So I should be able to add multiple relative in a one form. Okay. So I have this React project. Let me show you. So if we click on the new employee, so see, this is your employee form. And here you will add multiple, what do we say, family detail like this. Getting it? Like this, you will keep on multiple. So this is single information you will enter and multiple family information you will be putting it over here. Now on click of save, you need to send the whole object, employee detail and the multiple family members also. Are you able to imagine now what is the scenario?
Yes.
Okay. Now this same thing we have to do in Angular. So in Angular to do this, we have either we can go with template also and reactive also. Template is not something, what do we say? It is not something very custom code we have to write. Nothing by default they have provided anything. But in reactive, we can do with proper way. Okay. And we have one topics also. So I will just copy this React HTML code. So let me just get that code. HTML only I'm copying. Let's copy over here. Okay, I didn't create the component. Let's create the component. Ng generate component single multiple. This is very real-time scenario. Whenever we are working in a project now, there might be multiple scenarios like this where we have to use this single with multiple scenarios. Let me just remove the unnecessary things copied from the React code. Anyone know React out of you, or anyone has worked on React? No one?
I am Sushil.
Sushil, oh yeah, Sushil I know, but remaining. See, don't be limited to Angular only. Try to have knowledge of React as well because you can, what do we say? it's kind of necessity, because if you are working on working in any company na, currently you have Angular project, but sometimes the if Angular project is not there, your company might ask you to work on React or Vue also, because if you know the JavaScript, understanding is you will be with little bit training you will be able to work on React or as well as uh, Vue also. Okay.
Any batch with React if
We
want
are
to.
going, no need of batch. The basic thing, I'm going to start live session with YouTuber. So we will
Okay.
cover that. Once our batch is almost done, na, then we will start the React.
Okay.
Having just basic, because you will be able to relate easily, right? Whatever things we do in Angular, the same things we do over there also. Just way of writing code is little bit different. Format selection. Now we need to replace this class name with class equal to. Okay, so HTML is ready. Let's create the route also. Shall I explain this with both template and the reactive, or just the reactive is fine? Template you can figure out, or shall I explain both?
I believe reactive is good because we will mostly go with
Yeah,
reactive.
reactive is good only, but it's not it's not the case that you will be only doing the same thing with reactive. There might be chances that you have to do the same thing in template also. So just to try to implement the same thing with template. If you are facing issue, then again we can quickly cover. This API will work on 4204 port. Okay, make sure you run on the same port if you want to do the practice. NGS hyphen port 4204. Enter. This Saturday, Sunday, night, don't miss to join. Core API I'm going to start. Fine. Morning will be session.
On the back end, I believe for this one, this is the data is going into two tables.
Yeah. Employee table will be one, and your multiple table. Family detail will be going into another table, right?
Okay, okay.
Because single with multiple, no? Okay. So see, we have got the UI. Now, if you see the object, so we have the single object, and then we inside the single object only we have one property. Here we have to pass multiple array of family details. So here we have to create reactive form, but with form array. Okay. So first we will create the basic reactive form. Let's go to our .ts. First we need to import reactive form module, employee form colon form group, round bracket, curly bracket, empty form group I'm creating. Wait, sorry. Colon form group is equal to new form group, round bracket, curly bracket. Okay, so just I have initialized the empty form group. Then I'm creating a method create initialize form. Fine. Now in this function, we are going to just initialize this form. So employee form is equal to new form group, round bracket, curly bracket. Now, what are the properties we have? Single properties. So that we need to create as a control over here, like this. These are our parent properties. Fine. Colon new form control, round bracket. This is our primary key. So we have to send 0 over here. New. Then wherever we have this string, that we will replace with colon new form control round bracket double quote round bracket comma comma comma. Let me see, how do we do that? I forgot the code. Anyone remember what we need to do?
New form array.
New form array, correct?
A will be capital.
What capital?
Done.
Okay, so here we are passing array. Okay, so see, for now what we have done, just a normal form. Up till this is very familiar to you, which every control we are just initializing. But in mock relative, it's not a control. In this, we are going to store array of another forms, an array of another form group. So that's why new form array, and we are initializing with empty array. So this is very basic initialization form we have done. Now we need to create one more form. One more form, or no, sorry, not one more form. So here you can see we have initialized mock EMP relative property with new form array. Okay. So now let's bind this also. We will first complete the initial binding of our main form. Then we will jump to the dynamic form. Sorry, I didn't gone through the code, so I might be forgetting something. Okay. So we have just initialized the form. So this form we need to bind to our form. So where do we have a form tag? Yeah, so over here I will be using a form tag. Square bracket form group. We have binded our form name. This form tag I will complete after my body. Fine. So now whatever the single control we have, contact number, name, that we have to bind with form controller name. So what I will do is I will just search this class and I will replace that with class form. Let's add it over here. Form control name equal to this, and here fine. Now wherever we have that, we need to bind it. Name over here, then contact name, email, city, then state, then pin code, designation. That's it. So single form we have created, and that form we have binded to our form also by using form controller name. This is very basic thing. Now let's save and check if we have any error. We have an error. Okay. Can anyone tell me why we are getting this error? It's saying cannot find control with name. So on the first line where we have used form controller name, it is giving us the error. Can anyone tell me why it is giving us this error? Why it is not understanding name control?
When using the form tag, we have to add the ng model
No,
name property.
no.
Name
In
property.
reactive form, name property is not mandatory. That is only limited to template.
Is it a reserved keyword?
No. See, understand this error. What it is saying, cannot find control with name. So what it means, it is not able to find control with name in this form. Now tell me, what did we miss?
Must be employee form dot name.
No, we directly provide control form controller name. That's the control name. No, we don't use employee form, something like that, right?
Property we have to
A reserve word, maybe it is reserve word.
No. See,
I think so. We need to import something.
no. See, what the error, cannot find control with name. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, I will remove this. Now you will get the error for the second field. See, now you got the error for the second field, cannot file control with name contact name. The meaning of this error is Angular is not able to find particular control contact name in this form. But in this
We
form
have
we
to
have
import
in this form we have the
reactive
control
forms.
na? That is already
Reactive
imported.
forms. Oh,
Imported.
okay, okay.
Everyone understood the error or no? First understood the error, because in reactive form we get so many errors. So we should be able to understand what the error is. It is saying reactive form is not able to find the control with this name. But if we see our reactive form, we have this control, na? And same we are using it over here. So why it is saying like it is not able to find?
Not initialized,
Right.
or
See, while initializing the form, did we initialize the control? No, no. We
no,
are
no, no.
initializing this form within this function, but we didn't call this function. So unless this
I
function
have
is
to
not
add.
called, how it is going to initialize those control, na?
Yeah, okay.
Got it?
Yes.
So this is the normally error we get when we work with reactive form. If you get something like this error, like cannot find something, okay, means form is not initialized yet. Cannot find control with unspecified name attribute. What is the meaning of this? Do we have name attribute somewhere? Name equal to, no, where it is finding that? Okay, here also we have added that. Let's remove it. Let's save. So see, now we don't have an error. Okay, so we have created our form. That form we have binded over here in the first section. Now this is done, but now main theme is here. We need to we need to create one more form inside this our form, and we need to bind that new form to this text box element. Okay, so let's do that now. So till over here we have done the basic initialization of form. Now if you see the object, no, but wait. On click of add, we won't need a UI like this. So this will be dynamic. Okay, so we don't need the table. Let's get rid of the table. So what we will do, once you provide our detail over here, on click of add, this same row will get means name, relation, text, age will get again created if I click on add. Okay, like that we are going to do.
like
So
we will have like more text boxes copied.
yeah. So on click of add, again one more name, relation, text box. One more, this form will be automatically created. This is what we are going to do. Okay. Or let's we can move this button to the bottom, then it will make more sense. So instead of doing this over here, we have this row. Instead of having this button in the row, we can have one more row. And there we will have the button. Okay. So see, first, let's say I added first relative detail. Then if I click on add, one more form will be created with name, relation, and age. Like that we are going to do. Okay. Just a minute. Sorry. Okay. So what we are going to do, once the form load, by default, we will have one form will be automatically created. So for that, when we are initializing the form, so over here, we need to create one more form, or let's initialize this as empty. We will create one more function. Create family form. Okay. Now in this function, I'm going to create a local variable constant family form. Okay. Is equal to new form group, round bracket, curly bracket, enter. So it's like you can see here I'm creating a form, but I'm creating a local variable, correct? So it's not any global something. We are just creating a form inside this function. Now, what things we need in our family detail? So we just need this field. So let's copy this field. Let's paste it over here. It's like creating a reactive form, okay? Nothing new. Colon new form control. Fine. Round bracket, comma. Same thing over here, over here, over here, and over here. But just relative ID will be initialized with 0 because that is primary key. Fine. So we have created a family reactive form. And now this form we have to push to our major form. Means over here, this dot employee form dot, where is it? Controls, square bracket, single quote. Our control name is mock EMP relatives dot unshipped or add. Wait.
Oh,
How do we add it?
Push.
no, we need to create a get as form array, and then we can push.
Okay. Let's create constant form array. I should have gone through before taking the session.
As form array.
As form array. Okay. So previously I have explained this as. What do we do with this as? In HTML, in some scenario, we have seen, I think, as. Anyone remember? Somewhere
In
we
view
have
child,
seen
view
view
child.
child, right? So as is, whatever the data we have got over here, we are just providing a data type to this. Okay. So this dot employee form dot control, our control name is mock relative. Only this much we have selected over here, and we are providing a data type. So you can see mock relative is not a normal control, it's a form array. So that's the data type we have provided over here. Now form array, we can make use of that, just an array type of data we get. So now push you can use. See, now you are getting the push. Previously we were not getting the push. So push, and what you need to push? Your form group, like this. And this function you will call, or let's not show that form also by default. What we can do, or this function we will call once our form is initialized over here. So means what will happen? First our form will get initialized. Then we are calling this function. Here a family form will be created, and this form we are pushing to our form array over here in mock relative. Fine. So now once we call this function, we will have one form already initialized with one family member form. Okay. Now we have created a form group, child form group, and that we have pushed to our parent form group in the mock relative control. Okay. Now this mock relative, we need to bind it to the HTML. In mock relative, what kind of data we are going to have? In this mock relative control, what kind of data we are going to have?
Array.
Array. See, form array. So if it's an array, we can make use of the for loop, correct? So as I said, this for loop, this row needs to be dynamic. Okay. So, but before making that dynamic now, we need to add, just like at the top, you can see here we have added this form group now, just like that. We have to add, where it is, over here on the parent div, square bracket, form. It's not coming.
We can also add direct form array name.
Form array. Yeah.
Form array name only, no, it's not coming. That's why I got confused. Name. No, something is wrong. Directly without
Without
binding.
square brackets.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now here you need to provide this control name. Okay. See, again, this div is also inside a form tag only, means the employee form only we are initializing this. So form array name, and we are providing the control name where we are going to store our form of array of the another form group. Okay. Now inside this row, in every text box, you can use form controller name, and you can use the child properties. This. So name over here. Then on this drop down, you need to add relation. And the last one is age. Okay. This EMP ID you don't need to send because this is going to be foreign key. API will automatically create this. So see, this is our child form. So inside this another form, we have added form controller name out of this control name. Okay. And here we have specified like this form is related to this form controller name. Okay. But now this is going to be multiple. So for that, here we need to use form for loop @for. And over here, how do we use that directly? Employee form dot control dot mock relatives, no? Or we can create a function and then return.
We create a get
Hmm.
and as form array and then dot controls.
So get form array. I'm just creating a function. How do we create that? Like this
Direct
only, no?
function and return that line number 43.
Get
Or we can do directly with dot operator in HTML also.
@operator
Dot with dot.
means employee
Like
form dot.
employee, what was that? Employee dot mock employee relatives.
Okay, then
Item
we
of
can,
employee dot. Yeah,
let's try
this one.
employee form dot controls square bracket single quote our control name. Okay, here we need to provide as, no?
Hmm.
No, it won't.
Why in parentheses directly?
No, by default, it won't understand like it's a for loop. That's the issue, no?
Hmm.
It will iterate? No,
No.
it's an abstract, it's a control only, no? So that's why we need a method which will return this as a control. So family relatives. Now here return this dot, whatever we have written over here, no? Just like that we need to write. Let me complete, then you will again we will repeat, and a data type to this form array. Okay, so see what we have done. We have created a function which is basically returning the data from this control, but we are specifying the data type. Now we can use this function directly over here in the HTML. No, still it is giving error.
Dot controls.
Form array dot controls.
Huh.
Dot. It's not suggesting.
Can you add get in that family details?
Where?
Get in the startup, huh?
Get okay, now it is working. But control is needed, no? Yeah.
Dot controls needed. Huh.
Okay. Okay. Now this row we will put inside this for loop because this is going to be repetitive. Okay. Now on click of this add button, we have this add button. On click of add, we just need to create more family rows. So click, and on click of add, we will just call this function again over here. Let's see first if this is working. Then I will explain the code. Okay. It is not able to find relation. Why relation is?
After for array, we forget that form group and need pass index.
Okay. Form group.
From group name.
Form group name equal to index only we need to pass, na?
and this need as attribute square bracket to
Where?
form name.
Where?
Form group name.
Here
Huh.
we have provided index.
Need
Then
square bracket.
Form group name
Form
should
group
be
name
in
is equal to
square
okay,
bracket.
square bracket.
Huh.
Cannot find control with 0. What did we do wrong? Let's try to add a debugger over here and let's check. No, we did something else. What is form array dot push? Here we need to push, na? No, see, form array dot push we have done. Let's check our employee form, control, mock relative, control. Yeah, we have got one form over here. Why it is saying employee form, control, mock emp relatives. Inside that we have got control. Is this correct? In form group, here should be form group arena. In control we have got 0 first form group. What is the error we have now? It's saying cannot find control with name 0. Means here it is getting the error. Form group name. Let's try to provide this. $index.
Sir, index plus 1.
No. 0. Let me search. What is the error? Cannot find control with.
I think form is loading before that push method.
Not sure. Let's see. That's only we have done, na? Form array name we have passed. Okay, capital small. Form array name we have passed. Then controls, then I, and square bracket form controller name. Let's try again. I think that spelling mistake was there. Okay, so now if you see, if I click on add, see that many time your forms multiple details are getting, means dynamic form is getting created. Okay, let me reload. First understand the functionality, then I will explain the code. So by default, see what we are doing by default, we are calling this function in the constructor. So first our reactive form will get initialized. After that, we are calling this function. In this function, what we are doing, we are creating another form group, family form, and that we are pushing inside our mock relative control from our employee form. But we cannot directly push it. So first we have created one more constant, taking the data, whatever we have it over here, and providing the data type as form array. Then we are pushing it to the, means in this control only, we are pushing to the family form group. Okay, so we have created our employee form. Inside that employee form, we have one more control, that is mock emp relative. Inside that, we are going to push more form group, multiple form group of the family. Okay, it's like single with multiple. This is your single form, and over here you are going to have multiple form group array. Okay, now after that, what we have done at the single form, it's very basic. So here we have binded our employee form, and by using form controller name, we have binded respective field. But in dynamic form, so wherever the UI is going to be dynamic, here first we have to specify form array name. Means from your employee form, do you have any form array? So that we are specifying over here. Okay, saying in my form, this is my form group array. Okay, so that we have specified means your control name will be going over here. Then we are using the for loop, means a dynamic form, which is going to be your dynamic form, that we need to iterate in the form group. Either you use the form array or your normal ng for also. But here against the same problem, like here we were not able to push the newly created form directly to the control. Now we need to provide the data type just like that. Okay, so we have created one more get function. It's a normal function, just we are assigning a get, so that it will by default it will treat as a property, not as a function. So what this function is returning, the controls, the specific control from our employee form, we are returning this control, but while returning we are providing the data type also. Like in this particular mock emp relative control, what type of data we have? Form array. Okay, now this function I'm calling it over here, and this is going to return the controls, multiple controls, right? Because in this we are going to have multiple form group. Okay, so that's why control, and by default we need to provide a form group name. So by default we provide the index. So whatever the index we have now, that we are providing it over here. And inside this dynamic form, we will use form controller name, but properties will be this, the child form. Okay, now once we click on the add, we are calling this function. Let's add a debugger over here. Okay, now see properly. Let's reload. So see, by default, my employee form is initialized. If you see the control in mock emp relatives, currently you can see it's an empty array. Okay, once now we are creating our form group, family form, then we are taking the reference of that as a form array. See, it's empty now, and we are pushing to it. Now, if you see the employee form control mock emp relative, now you can see we have got one form group is over there. Continue. Okay, now if I click on add, again same function will get called. Again we are initializing new form. Okay, now if you see in my form array control mock emp relative, currently we have just one form group. See over here in the array. Now if this one line execute, now you will be see there will be two form group array. See, getting it? Two form group array. So we are actually creating form groups, and that form group we are assigning to this particular control in my top form. Understood what we did till now?
Yes.
Anyone? I know this is little bit confusing, and if you are saying this for the first time, you might get confused. Okay, so just for a very basic understanding, consider this. You have this form. Inside this form, you have a control. In that control, you are again pushing another form group. Okay, inside a form group, you have a control. Inside that form control, you are again pushing the control. It's like you have one object, inside that one field is there, and inside that one field, you are going to have again array of object. But the same case we have it with reactive form. Clear, everyone? Anyone have any doubt? Do you want me to repeat?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat once?
See, first check our object. What kind of object we have? We have an object. Single properties are also there, but in EMP mock relatives, what we need to pass? Array of object, right? Whenever your API has this kind of object, obviously it's a single with multiple scenario. We have some single data, and inside some property, we are going to pass multiple data. Is this clear?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So whenever you are going to do the CRUD operation for this kind of scenario, you have to first create a form with single properties. Inside that single properties, whatever the field where you are going to have the array, that property you will create. But inside this, instead of form control, you are just going to store form array over here. See, okay, this is the new thing. Then we have created one more function, create family form. So in this form, we are creating another form group. See, this and this, it is similar. This is
Yes,
also
sir.
form
Only
group.
that array we are initializing again.
Yeah, in the parent form we have this array saying in this control we are not going to have a simple control. It's going to be array of form.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we have in this function we have created one more form where family controls are there. Now this form we have to push to this mock EMP relative control, but we cannot directly push. So first we need to create a constant and getting the data like this and specifying the data type as form array. Then we will be able to push it. Okay, so we have created our family form. This family form we have pushed to our mock EMP relative control from our employee form. Okay, then in HTML, wherever your dynamic form is there, before that dynamic form, first you will add form group array name, and here you have to specify this mock EMP relative. It's a control, just like name, contact number. It's a control only, but in this control, what type of data we are going to have? Form array.
Form
So
array.
that's why form array over here and the control name. Then we need the for loop, but for loop we can make use of on the from your what type of data we need? Our employee form dot control dot make relative, but it will have a control type of data, means single data. We cannot use an for loop on that. So that's why we have to create one more function. Either you can create a function like this or see ChatGPT form dot get like control. Okay,
Initial controls.
but normally we create a function only. Okay, so what we are returning, this dot employee form dot control, and this particular control we are returning, but specifying the data type, like saying in this mock EMP relatives we have array of form group as form array, and this function we are calling it over here, and in this function we are going to get multiple control, so that's why dot control. Okay, and this is our dynamic form, this complete row. So that's where we have to specify something unique form group name, because this is multiple, na? It's in the
Yes,
form,
sir.
right? So we need to specify a unique form group name. So that's why we provide index dollar. So each form which is dynamically creating, we will have 0, 1, 2, 3. Something unique form group name will be provided. And inside
Okay, when
that
you click
form,
on add, each
first
row
form
will
group.
be acting as a one form group.
No, this is dynamic. See, if we can see it over here, form group name. ng reflect name 0. Yeah. So see over here, ng reflect name is 0 and you here 1, nothing but that index. So it's like identifying form group, something with unique. So we are using that by default index we get from the for loop. If I click on add new, see over here, you will get 3, 0, 1, 2. See, it is highlighting also. Getting?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So this is basic initialization we have done. Now on click of save, where is the save button? Save employee.
Sir, on the add button, we just calling the function create familiar
So
form, right?
again, we are creating a form group, and this form group we are pushing to the
Okay.
parent form. Got it?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So button I think is over here. So this save employee. So click on save. Fine. Let's create this function. Now see what type of data we need for the API. Just remember this. This type of data we need to pass a single object of employee and multiple mock relatives, array of object. Okay. So now form value is equal to this dot employee form dot value. Okay, let's add a debugger. Let's fill the form and let's test it. Okay, now family relative. Let's say AAA relation father. Again, click of add BBB sister. Again, one more element I'm adding DDT brother Okay. Now, if I click on save, you get the same object what we need to pass to the API by just getting the form value. On click of save, see, you got the same value, a single object, and over here you can see we got array of family relative. Got it? So this whole thing we have got. Whatever the form, what type of data we need to pass to our API, that same data we have got. A single employee detail and the multiple relative detail. Now API call will be normal. Nothing different in that. You got the object. You just need to send it with the post API. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this was our ultimate goal, that our form object should be like this. So that whole object we have got by using the reactive form. Clear? Understood, guys? So what
Yes,
else?
sir.
Yes, it's clear. It's very, I believe, without reactive form, it will be very difficult because we have to make this object by ourselves, I believe.
Yeah. So everything, whatever we have done now, we have to do it by ourselves. Not like, but custom code we will write. Okay. So I will explain that also because that is also important.
Sir,
Because here,
in some time when we clicking on the add, right, uh, column name also added, right? If we not add the column name, only the text
column
field,
name means,
then how?
column name means form controller name.
Yeah, name, relationship, age,
Hmm.
header.
Hmm.
So many cases we don't need the repeated header, right? Only the text.
Yeah, so that is UI. So what you can have just the title over here and then just text box will be dynamic. So what we did till now, everything, whatever we have, that we have it put it over here. Na? So that's why label is also getting repeated. Whole this UI is getting repeated. Otherwise you can do outside this for loop, you can create a row and you can have this label over there and you can just have a text box also repeating. That is also fine. Instead of this, you can use a table also, table TD, whatever. Understood? UI is up to you. Either you can get this name column name and the text box also get repeated, or name can be in a single way, only text box can be repeated. That is also fine. Okay.
Yes.
So how will you add the error messages?
Same thing. Validation, na? Not the error message. Validation.
Yes, like in the form control, we can add that required, but like
Yeah. Same over here. See, here also you will add the validators dot required. This is your form group. Just like that. This is also your form group. Here also you will add it like that.
no, sir, like that we used to add in template driven from that touch and dirty, right? So
Same thing, no? Here also we use that template, touch, dirty. Everything stays the same, no, in reactive form. But here it will change. Here, if we need to show the validation, now here little bit it will change. Okay. Here only you are asking or the parent form?
no, sir, in form array.
Yeah. So here let's say div text hyphen danger. Okay. So now if I need to show the validation, so at the rate if dot text danger. Okay. So now over here we need to show the particular validation message for name, and we need to check that it is checked touch or not. So now here you will use employee form dot control square bracket single quote your control name mock emp relatives. Okay, sorry, again the same thing. We need one more function. Okay, so now how do you identify this multiple form group? Because you have got the index over here. So you will create one more function, another get function, get family form by index. Okay. And here you will get the index. Return this dot employee form dot controls square bracket mock EMP relatives. What it is saying? Get accessor must have parameter, cannot have parameter. Okay, let's create a normal function and control square bracket index implicitly as any type. Number cannot be used to
Dot controls index.
dot control. So here you will get array of form group, right? As let's create a normal constant first. Constant form array. So first we will get the form array data, then return form array square bracket index dot controls index, like this now. Let's try. Square bracket, sorry, this is a function. We need to pass this index, dollar index over here, and dot control. Okay, so here we are directly returning the control. So dot touch property we can use. Or no, what things we are getting over here? Why touch is not coming? Dot. Yeah, touch is coming over here. So same thing property we can use over here. It's not suggesting. Why? Because we didn't specify the data type. Form group, particular form group we are returning, or form control. For this also it's giving error. Let it be. Directly we will use touch property over here. And here we will add just a span tag saying this is required. Let's save and check. So if I touch this, yeah, so now you can see this is required is coming. If I provide the value, okay, so we didn't added the condition for this. So touch property is working, right? Just like that, we need to copy this and dynamic condition star @ if dot, what do we write? Error, na? Error square bracket dot square bracket required. Okay, let's move this span inside over here. So see, by default we don't get that. If I touch, no, something is wrong. Errors in employee name, we said it is required, right? Let's try to print what we are getting it over here. JSON. We are getting null. Why we are getting null? Errors. If touch, we are getting it. Let's try to print the touch value. If touch, we are getting it proper. Why we are not getting the error? Index. No, here we are going to get the particular form, right? Let's try to print what we are getting it over here. Or let's add a debugger. over here. Here we should write controls now, because we will get, because here we didn't specify the control name na anywhere. So we need to specify the control name. Dot controls. Still we are getting error. Why it is the error? Property control does not exist on abstract control. This function is going to return abstract control data. Employee form dot control as form array.
We can get item dot like that also, na?
Item dot means
We have in 79
okay,
line
item.
we are getting that control already. Item dot get and then control name
Dot
get in bracket control name
control name, right?
dot touched or dirty.
Name dot touched. Let's try, because over here we are already getting the control. So from that we can extract anything. Okay. So over here, just this question mark dot. Let's see. Okay, so see, object we are getting. If I pass the value, it is getting null. So this is how we do that. By default, we get it. If I provide, that is also getting removed. See, if I add multiple, with every, it is behaving unique now. Okay, like this. So over here, because in this function, we are directly getting in family relative, this get method is already returning the control. So in item, we are getting the single form group instance. So from that form group instance, we are getting the particular form controller name, relation, whatever you need. Okay. So like that, you will write the validation also. Got it?
So there is no need of the function, right?
No.
Get family.
Directly by using this get method, we can extract the particular control information. Because form group array we are already iterating now. So here in the item we will get particular form group. So from that particular form group we are trying to get the particular control access like this. Got it?
Oh, yes.
It might be little bit difficult to process everything at one go. Unless you will implement by yourself now, you won't get it. Because you see, I have not used this in last 6 months, so I also forgot it. I know the concept, but when you try to write down it, you will forget.
And now is advanced is coming.
Yeah, so you need to complete it by whatever I have written. You need to do it, then only you will be able to understand. You will get the error, you need to search it, then you will understand what mistake you did, then you will properly understand. Okay. Fine. So tomorrow now, same scenario I will explain with template form, because that is also important. Not required that your TL will ask you to do in the reactive. In some project, if people who are, if your senior people are from Java or the .NET background, they are not good with Angular, right? Or not good with JavaScript also. Or we can say if someone, your TL is good with JavaScript now, so instead of going with the reactive now, so he will ask you to write the custom code, because here you didn't write any custom code. It's all provided by the reactive. But if you go for the template now, all the code you have to write it by your own custom code. So there you have to actually, there you'll be actually using the logic. Okay. So that's why in many projects, sometimes they will go for the reactive, or sometimes they will go with the template also. Because in template, in template it's very easier, not very complicated code and anything. Everything, whatever we are going to have, we have a control over that. Okay. So tomorrow we will check that. Fine. Anyone having any doubt?